Getting our hands on steals, and even one-on-one defense is exceptional right now. And like I've stated before, that's leading right to a transition offense, and really leads to better offense for us.
Has it been hard not to look ahead to USD throughout this tournament?
I've been trying not to. You got to take one game at a time, survive in advance, and we're ready for tomorrow, whoever it is.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Right here.
Lakota Beatty had a really good game yesterday, and you guys held her to only 6 shot attempts for the game today. What kind of effort went into that?
I'd say we knew she was a shooter, and like you said, she's had a great game yesterday or throughout the season. So we knew we had to get up on her and make her take tough shots.
What about the rebounding battle? You guys handled that pretty well.
Yeah, they're a great rebounding team. I thought we boxed out well, got a lot of offensive rebounds, which really fueled their offensive energy, and did well on the D-boards too, so we were pretty well.
All right, thank you, ladies. You can head back to the locker room. Go ahead with questions for Coach.
What sort of experience do you think does it help that these ladies are so experienced in playing in this tournament and they know what to expect even going into tomorrow as far as how you approach this? It seems like you certainly have a routine by this point.
Yeah, I think experience definitely plays a role, and I think I've tried to say this after every game in every tournament. Momentum can play a role, experience can play a role, depth can play, all those things play a role until the ball goes up for the next game. And then when that game happens, it's all, how you handle situations. And today, for instance, in the first half, we got in a little bit of foul trouble there at the end of the second quarter, and I thought that changed the flow and momentum of the game. And so, all those good positives that go with our team are great. But once the ball goes up, it just figure out a way to be as good as you can that next possession. And I think experience helps with that too. But the team's just playing really well, and as you said, I think they know what to expect. It's just a matter of still executing and playing well in those moments.
Coach, it was mentioned a couple times already, but this is a team that played you twice in the regular season pretty tough, but that game out there today wasn't anything like those first 2 matchups. What was the biggest difference in your mind?
Well, I think they're really well coached, really well prepared. They guard us well. They guard Macy well. If you go back and look at over the last several times we've played, they've got some matchups that can do a nice job on Macy, and they did, I think, a good job on her today too. They're mixing up some pressing defenses, kind of takes us out of rhythm. But I thought our team handled those things well. We had really good support today. Tegan was tremendous. Maya was really good. Linz gave us great minutes off the bench there, made some shots and made some plays when we needed it. Maddie and Macy still played really well. I thought we defended them probably better in this game than we had in the last 2 games. I thought we did a nice job on both of their perimeter players. We switched some matchups, who we were guarding. I think that was probably a better fit looking at this game too for us.
Coach, you kind of touched on it just now, but last week you were really emphasizing that you still haven't played a complete game this year. Definitely showed on the stats, definitely showed on the scoreboard. Do you feel like you finally got that complete game?
Yeah, I thought we played really well. I thought that would be a complete game for sure. We rebounded, we defended, we took care of the ball. It's hard. It's hard to win, and this game was harder than maybe the scoreboard probably shows at the end. And I think our team had to play really well throughout that game.
You excited about potentially another shot at USD in the final?
We're excited to play in the championship game. We absolutely are. North Dakota as a new team in this league, if they get that chance, they'll be fired up. If USD wins, I'm sure they'll be fired up too, as we will be.
What will your message be as far as, there's a lot of speculation out there that you guys are going to be going to the NCAA tournament no matter what. Will you address that as far as, let's not leave anything to chance, let's go out here and try and win this game?
We did talk about that before the tournament started, just because I think a lot of people have discussed it. Our area, it's all over media, social media, and those things are great. My hope is that every year we have those conversations. I hope we have more teams that are in the conversation. That's good for all of us. So I just love that that's going on. as far as the team goes, we've really talked about this as its own event. Obviously, it leads to an NCAA tournament, so there's a lot on the line, but it's a chance to compete for a championship and do something that nobody else can do in our league. And one team is going to get that tomorrow, and so we'll be motivated for that reason and that reason only, I think. And then when it's over, then we'll look at it and see, what have we done and have we done well enough, and go from there.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thanks, Aaron.
Joining us from Oral Roberts is head coach Misty Cousin, student athlete Jordan Gilbert. Our formal press conference will be an opening statement from Coach. We'll take some questions for Jordan, and then we'll dismiss Jordan and get back to Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
Good. Congratulations to Aaron and his outstanding team that he's got. I thought they played beautiful basketball today. I really felt like today was two teams meeting that were meeting at opposite ends of the spectrum. We were, yesterday even, we're just out of sync yesterday, and part of that comes from kind of some of the different things that Western Illinois does, and I was really looking forward to kind of seeing us get into sync just to play some good basketball here in Sioux Falls. But I just thought a huge part of why we didn't today was I thought Aaron had his girls ready to go at both ends of the floor. They did a great job defensively and obviously shot the ball extremely well too. So we were really playing from behind from the very beginning and didn't have a real aggression to us offensively, which shows up in the stat sheet as well. But the exciting thing for us right now is to finish in the position that we finished this year. I'm excited that I shouldn't be saying words to my team in the locker room right now for the last time this season. So looking forward to hopefully an opportunity for postseason play still. Absolutely wish the other teams in our conference the very best moving forward. I think it's been a great season for women's basketball here in the conference, and I just congrats again to South Dakota State. They just were sharp in every way today and represented beautifully. So.
Questions for Jordan?
Jordan, you played these guys pretty tough in the regular season. Did that give you some confidence coming in that you could make a run at them?
Yeah, I think we had a pretty great chance to go against them. As a matchup, as a whole team, I think we had the best chance to beat them this season.
Well, then what did you think was different today about the first two meetings?
Like Coach said, they all showed up ready. Well, we showed up ready too, but we just didn't play our best today, I think.
What do they do? I mean, they're not real big, but they're really good defensively and really good on the boards. How are they able to do that when they don't necessarily have that size?
Just think it comes with being ready to go every single possession. Trusting each other as teammates. Just getting it hooked up, ready to go. It's tournament time. Got 3 games in 3 days. Got to get it done. I think they were just focused. Not that we weren't, but I just think we didn't play our best today.
Any other questions? All right, Jordan, thank you very much. You can head back to the locker room.
Okay.
Misty, that's the same question to you. How is it you think that they're so good defensively on the boards when, like I said, they don't necessarily have a ton of size?
Oh, see, that makes me giggle, though, because you're just
I'm talking
counting size
in the middle,
vertically, or
yes.
you're counting it horizontally also, because both of those are there. I think that's one of the things that's always been a hallmark of South Dakota State's program is, we're running 5'8" guards, and he's running 6-foot guards.
That's true.
And it's always been that way, all the way back to, oh my gosh, the wrestler's daughter, Corneman, and I've seen these players for a long time, and so and I think one of the things that, not to get off track of your question too much, but I think that's one of the things that's really put South Dakota up on more of an even keel with them, because they're running the bigger guards and stuff, and there's more spread offense and everything. When I look up and I see that Maya Mayberry has ended up having to pick up Larson in transition, the size question really makes me giggle. But so when they sit in a gap in man-to-man defense, they fill a gap. When we sit in a gap, it looks like you can drive Volkswagens around it. So it's a little different. But I think the biggest thing, our game yesterday, to me, was the only game in the first 2 rounds of play that was called more of a touch foul style. Watching South Dakota's first game, obviously State's first game, and then the North Dakota-Denver game yesterday as well. They're all very physical styles of play. We played really 2 different styles from what we were allowed to play, or what we did play yesterday, versus what we were experiencing today as well. And when the game is going to be more of a physical style and that size differential, and I probably even less than style, size differential, but strength differential, I would say is a big part of it too. This is Maya, this is Macy. There's a big difference. And so that physicality, but also it's very fundamental in how they teach it well. And I thought we've got a small margin of error when we come against it. And fortunately, the 2 games that we played against them this year, I think we probably made as much of the margin of error as we could. And then today, we were a whisper of who we were the previous 2 meetings this year when we played them. So.
Well, what do you think the rest of the teams in this league have to do to close that gap between those 2 South Dakota teams?
Well, Macy and Maddie graduating will hopefully begin to help a few things. I feel like Macy's been there for a decade of my basketball career, but what outstanding young women, too. You look at them as basketball players, but I know what they do with their GPA off the court and just... I watch and observe, and I've watched Maddie do some pretty special things in warm-ups with her in encounters with people and everything. So I know they're outstanding young women too. I think that's part of the process of building back to it again. And I am more than happy for a little while longer to continue to be chasing. With who South Dakota and South Dakota State are, I'd love to be the ones to topple the regime finally. I read an article a couple of days ago, and there was a reference to everybody else in the conference taking it on the chin. And I'm happy to get upset about that a little bit and to try to be somebody that can kind of and I said this a year ago, a high tide raises all ships. And so I'm more than happy that we are setting such a standard on the women's basketball side of our conference here in the Summit League that we should see 2 teams go to the NCAA tournament this year. And I'm proud of that. I'm happy to represent that. I want to be part of those 2 teams in the future. And right now, in direct, we've got shooters. We don't have the inside presence that either one of the teams have right now, and we don't have the guard size right now. So there's a few physical elements that are an important part of kind of getting there. But what a great goal to have to work to achieve. And I felt like we did a better job this year during the regular season than we have. I didn't feel like our conference performance, honestly, either game was representative or indicative of who we've been throughout this season. But no, I'm a proud coach. I'm happy to have the girls that I've got right now.